Friends are brilliant. I love my friends. I'm sure all of you guys love your friends as well. But I'm sure you'll all agree there is something quite fun about winding up your mates. Now, I'm one of those people. I like messing with my friends. It doesn't matter where I am. I could have been in school. I could be around their house. I could be in a game. If I can do something that will slightly frustrate them, just enough for them to be a little bit wound up, then I will happily do it because that brings me a lot of enjoyment and my friends will do exactly the same thing to me. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the upper hand, and I'm going to be showing you how to build 10 redstone contraptions that are specifically designed to wind up all of your mates. I think it should be good fun, so let's crack on. So for design number one, we're going to be creating the ultimate noise machine that you can place inside their base. As soon as they log in, they will be well aware of this thing. All you need to do is place a block with redstone torches on all 4 sides of it, and then redstone dust in the middle, blocks up on either end, and that will create a fast pulsing redstone clock. So that is like the heart of the build. Then all we have to do is place loud things around it. What I'm going to do is place doors in all of the corners, just like this. Very, very noisy indeed. And we're going to place trapdoors on top of all of those as well. So straight away, we've got quite a loud redstone contraption. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck note blocks on either end like this, and then underneath those note blocks, I'm actually going to throw in some gravel as well. And as you can probably hear, wow, it's an absolutely horrendous noise. And if you want to throw in something even more disgusting, you can chuck in some dispensers as well. This one is known as the secret chicken dispenser, and the idea behind it is that it will gradually fill your friend's base with chickens, but it will do it slow enough for your friend to not really notice. So he'll come back into his house and maybe there'll be like 1 or 2 chickens there and be like, oh, that's a little bit strange. He'll kill them off. And then he'll come back in the next day and there'll be like 2 or 3 and he'll be like, well, this is very odd. How are these getting in? And it'll basically mess with his mind just a tiny bit. So the way that we need to build it is we need to create this sort of system right here. Then we need to place a dispenser facing downwards, which is filled to the brim with X, just like that. Then running into the side of that dispenser, you just want to place a hopper, then a double chest, once again, filled to the brim with eggs, redstone dust, and then you're going to need to grab yourself an observer block, which does mean that you're going to need to be in the 1.11 snapshots. You want to chuck that in right there. Then on top of it, you want to place in a daylight sensor. Now I know what you're thinking. Mumbo, there is a big hole in the wall. My friend is going to notice that instantly. Well, first off, you need to make sure that your friend has a few paintings in his base, and then you need to make sure that you build that behind where one of the original paintings was located. Then you place a fence gate right here, you open it up, and then chuck in a painting just like that. And there we go. That has covered the entrance, which means that the chicken will be dispensed. It will stand there for a little while, then it will walk out from behind the painting, and your friend won't be able to tell where it's come from. Now, unfortunately, this design right here requires that you have access to command blocks, which could be a little bit difficult and also could be considered just a tiny bit cheaty. But if you do have that luxury, you want to place a command down and put this command on the inside. Now, it's a very long command, okay, so I'll put it down in the description so you can just copy and paste it in. But it essentially means play sound Minecraft entity creeper primed. Now, what do you think that means? It's the sizzling noise, the sizzle noise of the creeper. So when your friend walks over this pressure plate right here, he's going to assume that there is a creeper right behind him that's about to blow him up. And he's going to panic and he's going to be like, what was that? When actually, it was just a command block underneath the pressure plates. I think that's hilarious. All of your friends have bases, and the chances are those bases have doors. Now, a popular door of choice is the iron door because it can't be broken by a zombie. As you can see, when we walk over the pressure plate, that door opens up. Really nice and simple. One thing that you can do to this door, though, is you can lock it so that it won't open when that pressure plate activates. Now, the way that we have to do it is we place in a door like this, so it's currently in an open state, and when we walk over the pressure plate, the door actually closes. Now, that in itself is a bit of a frustrating thing, but then what we have to do is go up to the top and chuck in a lever or some form of redstone power source, and there we go, we've done it. Your friend will now walk over the pressure plate expecting the door to open, but instead, they will faceplant it. Your friend has just gone AFK overnight. They're over at their crazy efficient farms, they're getting loads upon loads of items, but that does mean that they're currently logged into the server, but they aren't controlling it. Which means that, yes, this is a prime time for messing with them, because all you have to do is push them somewhere. Now, one of my personal favourite things to do is to push them through into the nether, take them over to the nether hub, and transport them to a completely different base, somewhere that they've never really been before, just miles upon miles away from their original location. Now, the only thing that I will say about this prank is, try not to kill them, both in the transportation and also wherever you leave them, because if you leave them in a spot where they can die, chances are they will die at some point, and then all of their items will despawn. Now that's less funny, okay? If your friend logs back in and they see that they're in a completely crazy location, that's quite funny. But if they log back in and they see that they've died and they've lost all of the things that they've worked incredibly hard for, well, they're probably not going to be chuckling too much, are they? Now, the chances are, if your friend is at all into redstone, they will have one of these in their base. This is a very simple 2x2 piston door. We stand on the pressure plates and the doors open up. When we stand off the pressure plates, the doors close up behind us. It's really very nice and easy. And as I say, if your friend likes redstone, they will have one of these. You'll just have to go out looking for it. Now, to do our next little prank, we're actually going to have to do some slight modifications to this design. We're going to break all of this stuff right here. In fact, we're going to get rid of the pistons as well. So replace those blocks and just remove, yep, all of this redstone can go. And, well, these pistons can go as well. And this redstone and this block. So as you can see, we haven't been left with too much. And make sure that you pick up all of that redstone and chuck it inside a chest, so that your friend doesn't feel like you're stealing all of their resources. But anyway, the next thing that you want to do is take out these 2 blocks right here and place 2 blocks going across the bottom, just like this. Place some redstone dust on the top, and then a block up like this, a redstone torch right there, and do the same thing on the other side. So a block up like that, and a redstone torch right there. Then next to that redstone torch, you want to place in a sticky piston facing across, which is going to be running into these blocks, and do the same thing on the other side, just like that. So now what we've got is we've got the regular 2x2 piston door. There it is. This is what it would look like. And then in front of the 2x2 piston door, we've got the pressure plates. Everything looks completely normal. But underneath those pressure plates, we've got a lot of cobwebs. Okay, we've got a lot of cobwebs. Place in as many as you possibly can. Take it all the way down to bedrock if you really want to. That's going to take a very long time to travel through. And that means that when your friend walks up to their base, they want to go through their little piston door. Well, yeah, that happens. You can see we are now on a very, very painfully slow descent right the way down to the floor. For this one, you're going to want to enjoy breeding animals because we're about to fill your friend's base with animals in a very creative fashion. So what you want to do is chuck a sticky piston down, then a slime block on top, immovable objects going around it a bit like this. Now you can use obsidian, you can use furnaces, dispensers, note blocks, chests. As long as it can't be moved by pistons, then it should be good for the build. Then you want to chuck in blocks going up a little bit like this. And now you're going to want to get 2 animals inside that chamber right there. Very simple for me, could be a little bit more challenging for you. Now, if you need help breeding them, a good tip is to chuck in some water down at the bottom there. And as you can see, these guys start bobbing up and down, which means that you can easily click on them with the wheat. Well, I don't actually need that because I can just spam them in creative mode. And then eventually, you are going to get a bunch of them on the inside of this place. Now, unfortunately, because we're playing in the snapshots right now, these will actually begin to take suffocation damage when there's too many of them, as you can see right there. So once you've reached that limit, just chuck in a button, wait for your friend to come home, and then tell them to give it a press. As you can see, well, it looks pretty amazing, doesn't it? Now, the good news is that most of them die, which means there's not too much of a cleanup operation. I just think it's brilliant. Your friends have houses in Minecraft, right? Are we right? That's a perfectly normal thing to do. Now, one thing that I will say is if your friend's house is small, a bit like this little portaloo right here, I would suggest moving it using pistons. Now, you can do this gradually so that they don't really catch onto it, or you can do it very suddenly, aka move it hundreds of blocks off into the distance so they don't really know what's happened. All you have to do is chuck in a bunch of pistons like this, going up like that. Then you need to place blocks on all of their faces, just a bit like this. And then behind all of those pistons, you're placing some redstone blocks. But before you do it, you need to make sure that there are no gaps on the inside of the build, because otherwise the house will collapse in on itself and that will be bad. So as you can see, I've filled in all of the air spaces with trapdoors, so that should be absolutely fine. Now I'm going to chuck in redstone blocks here and redstone blocks right there. And there we go. We've pushed it by 1 block. Then you break all of the redstone blocks, place in another set of blocks, and rinse and repeat this process until you've traveled a decent distance, let's just say. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is a big, big project. Enormous, humongous, massive. It will take you a very long time indeed, but say, for example, your friend is going away for a week, you could do this while they're away, and when they return, they'll get quite a shock. What you need to do is you need to pick the ugliest photo you could possibly find of them, import it into a program known as SUBCRIBE, and then build it. Now, what SUBCRIBE does is it tells you what Minecraft blocks to use to get certain colors, and as you can see, well, it allows you to create things that look a little bit like this. Now, that is my ugly mug right there. And I can tell you, if I logged into a server and found this, I would die with both humiliation and also from laughing far too much. So your friends just built a lovely organised sheep farm. All of the sheep are in the correct pens, they're all the right colour. It's absolutely beautiful, and all you have to do is come along and give this name tag to all of the sheep, and suddenly, mayhem. Absolute mayhem. All of the sheep are changing colour. Nobody knows what colour they are. If you shear the sheep, then it will show the original colour, but you can't tell from looking at it. I mean, this is a very simple way to mess with your friends, and, well, I think it's quite nice. So we have it, ladies and gents. That rounds up today's video on 10 ways to mess with your friends. Now, if you have any other suggestions, please let me know down in the comment section, because I'd love to hear them. You guys know what I'm like. I would love to have other ways to just infuriate my friends in Minecraft. But unfortunately, that's all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.